What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and we're sitting in these chairs getting ready to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater WAAAGH. Tell them who you are.
This is a video series. I'm Gershwan.
No, he's a video series.
I'm a video series. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question, because we get to those questions first. And that is what Te Mande a la Bird did.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. Didn't Cadia have the pylons keeping the Eye of Terror from growing? And if so, how much bigger can the eye grow now that the pylons are gone?
Yeah, they got pylons.
Yeah, so for all newcomers to the lore, Cadia was a planet right outside of the Eye of Terror and had these Necron constructs created during the War in Heaven to stop psychic powers, specifically to stop the Eye of Terror from getting bigger. Mm-hmm. When Abaddon destroyed it, he rammed his ship into Cadia,
the Blackstone Fortress,
and let it be known that the planet fell before the Cadian Guard did, or I think that's how they say it.
Yeah, the guard broke before the guard did.
Yes. Cadia broke before the guard did. That's what it is, right? Okay.
Yep.
And then once that happened, the Maelstrom came about. So that is so to answer your question, how bigger would it get? The Maelstrom. The Maelstrom is just like this giant
rip in space and time.
Yeah, it's like a giant spider web across the universe now, and it's just spewing out demons and all this kind of stuff. So it was bad that the pylons were destroyed. Mm-hmm. And now Cadia is a demon world within the Eye of Terror, which has grown. Good question.
Yeah. This next one is by Pineapple. What are your thoughts on Fenris being a demon world, or something similar to that, providing power to the rune priests?
Well, there's a theory, and recently, yeah, it's probably already out, but I created a 40 facts video on Thunderwolf Cavalry. There is a portion in some of the lore that points to the Thunderwolf wolves being Astartes that degenerated. Is that how you say it? Yeah, or devolved into these giant Thunderwolves, and it is like, and then like the question is, well, how come there were Thunderwolves before Magnus or before what's his name, Leman Russ got there? And the answer is that those were actually wolves that used to be colonists during the Dark Age of Technology. It's just that the Fenrisian planet itself created these lupin creatures. Lupine? So yes, it is a possibility. Mm-hmm. There's cults already on the planet.
Isn't that kind of the reason why, like, Zeech and, like, Magnus, they're kind of drawn to it in a way?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yep, there's a rivalry between them, but on top of that, there is there's a connection with the planet to both of them. So they're both linked somehow. The lore of Prospero is also really good. Check out our 40 facts on Prospero. Fenris and Prospero are very magically gifted planets. Yeah. Next question.
This one is by Nicholas Azalone. Since White Scars don't have dreadnoughts, this is because they believe in freedom of movement. So they kill their crippled Astartes, even though they could be interred. It's not really a question, but this is a bonus question. Could they be fused with an assault bike? And would it be lore friendly that they bred a special type of horse for their own Rough Rider units?
You're talking about the Imperial Guard now?
Oh, he's talking about, like, the White Scars still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they would have to breed a bigger, tougher horse so that a Space Marine can ride it.
Again, creating the lore on the Thunderwolves, I learned that Thunderwolf Cavalry is actually seen as heresy by the Imperium. So, by the Space Marines creating or manipulating these horses to be better like riders, I think that that might be seen as heresy. It's just conflict within the lore, though, of like, why is it okay for Imperial Guardsmen to ride lizards, which are the Rough Riders, and it wouldn't be okay for the Space Wolves to ride Thunderwolves.
Right.
They say that it might be sentience, like the Thunderwolves have some form of sentience above a regular animal. So maybe But then at the same time, if you were to genetically modify a horse, you're not supposed to genetically modify anything within the Imperium.
Right.
That's against the law.
But again, the other thing about that, though, is that both the Space Wolves and the White Scars, they don't follow the Codex Astartes.
Yeah.
So they're already doing what they want to do, no matter what.
That is true, yeah. So could they do it? Yeah. I actually think I've seen kit bash models of like, or no. Yeah. Space or White Scars riding horses.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty cool. Badass.
But it's not a fact that they never had dreadnoughts, especially in Forge World. I did a video a few days covering the new models that came out for the White Scars, and 2 of them are dreadnoughts. You got a Leviathan White Scar dreadnought, and you got a Contemptor dreadnought. So they did at least have them back during the Heresy. But again, their tactics are all about speed, maneuverability, so a dreadnought wouldn't really fit too well into it. But I could still see them using it because it's firepower. And why kill off like a great warrior when they could keep fighting as a dreadnought?
Yeah. A good question, though. Next one comes from Benjamin Hansen. I have the power of Hokuto no Ken.
Nani? I don't know what that is. Good for you, man. Keep it up.
Next question comes from Temande Alabird. How big can orc rocks get? Can they turn a planet into a rock? Yeah, if they have enough rockets to put it onto the planet, yeah.
You put rockets onto a rock?
Yeah, that's what they do. They find an asteroid, they put rockets onto it so that it can propel through space. Even though technically it's already moving because it's an asteroid. Right?
Orcs.
Yeah, or is that a comet? I don't know.
Asteroids, comets,
They're,
rocks.
Yeah, it all happens.
Just ask Dwayne Johnson. He knows about rocks.
Aaron Danielle asks, why is there never enough DACA? Because the enemies just keep coming.
Especially if you're into Slanesh.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, are you going to keep adding to it?
No.
All right. Spartan, how many genders do demons have?
2.
Well, hey now.
No, they should just have 1. There's no point on like reproducing. Demons don't reproduce.
They're genderless. Because if you say they have 1 gender, it's got to be either this.
Well, can't they be asexual then?
But asexual defines the way they reproduce. It doesn't define their gender. Because you could be asexual female, you could be asexual male, you could be asexual, etc. So, genderless?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, demonettes have boobs, but they're genderless. They don't really need boobs because that's just fat that feeds babies.
I mean, technically we have boobs. Next question comes from Schizopath89. Just curious, how many people around where you guys live know y'all from your channel? Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. So how many people know or recognize us? I think we've only been recognized maybe half a dozen times out in the wild. Somebody threw a Pokeball at us once.
We like to shake like 3 times before coming out. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Oh, there is the one thing I forgot to tell you. Recently, I got noticed at my job. They're like, hey, are you that one guy from OneMindSyndicate? And I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, never mind.
Are you just like pretending not to be?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's that? I thought he was going to like explain it to me. He's like, oh, never mind. And he just kind of looked at me and kept walking. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think there are people sometimes that stare, especially when I go to like the comic book store, the GW store, obviously. But nobody ever talks to you. They kind of just like stare at you, and like if you do see us out and about, say something, because we're not going to like assume that you guys know who we are.
Maybe he's just handsome and you just taking a gander.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah.
It's like, that dude's wearing a bold purple shirt. What's he doing in here?
What's wrong with my purple shirt? My purple shirt was on point.
One of the comments said that, like, I've never seen a grown man wear purple. So.
It's a good color. Next question comes from
Spotty Skunk.
Okay.
Are there any stupid questions? You just answered it. I can't think of any, like...
No, there's questions that frustrate us, but there's no questions that are dumb. I think when you start taking the lore and saying, what if, and then you push it too far, those questions are a little annoying. We have a lot of people who ask us a question, and then they like put elements of a different universe into 40K, and then it becomes one of those things where it's like, that's not really a question. You just wanted to talk to us about like a subject, which is cool. But do that in the comment section, and we'll respond to you through like messages. But
yeah, because it's like, oh, what if the Emperor was actually like Ash Ketchum, but in the Transformers universe? It's like, how do I even answer that? Like,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you can't really do anything about it. Next question comes from DeFool06. Is the Tau really the youngest race in all of 40K?
No, they're the youngest technologically advanced threat in the universe. They're not really a threat, but they're getting there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because obviously there's younger races, but they're too young to be even noticed.
Yeah. Next question comes from Nicholas Anzalone. Nope.
Oh, I already did that.
Yep.
Lone Goat 81. How come you guys don't do any contests like fan lore, homemade terrain, kit bashing, etc.? I actually did a few of those way back in the inception of OneMindSyndicate. There was at least 2 art contests that I was kind of throwing out there, but at that time we only had like maybe 30,000 subscribers. So the amount of submissions was tolerable. Like I could easily go through each one of them, give you feedback on it, and kind of pick winners that way. But I feel like now, we'd be getting like a ton of submissions, like
maybe
depending on what it is, obviously.
Yeah, I've noticed though that things like that don't really work. Like I don't know why, like people don't really participate. But we'll give it another shot. We'll see if we can handle it.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can handle all the submissions. I mean, comment down below what type of competition would you guys like to see? Would you guys like us to do a lore-based competition? Because obviously that's the channel. Or would you guys like us to do like a kit bashing painting thing? Because that would be a lot of fun too. And I think everybody, if you listen to our 40 Facts videos, it's probably because you're painting or you're modeling or you're doing something. So it would be nice for you to do that while watching our videos, while also participating in upcoming competition.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've had in the back of my mind, but I've just been kind of like surprised at like, would this interest you? Or would this interest enough of you, or would this interest too much of you, where we might like overlook like really great stuff?
Yeah.
So we'll see what we got.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question, and thank you guys for sending those questions our way.
Questions, suggestions, comments—they're all great.
This was Gershwan,
Sound Alchemist, and we are out.